All right, everybody, how you doing today? Rick, got the book out this morning. Did a little reading on your paint. So I read through everything, and nothing really jumps out. There was a few things on the cap recommendation. I just wanted you to look at that. Usually, when they have this cap recommendation, it's 1.3 to 1.5. The high number is usually the sweet spot, So there you go, HVLP 1.5. That's sort of what they like, for this product. Another thing that I noticed that was a little different than the regular MSV is the mixing ratio over here, and that was 2 to 1. I would probably mix that to where you wanted it. Another very interesting thing that I saw, as I was reading through this is. Let me find it for you. But they had right here in the technical data, it's viscosity, the Zen RSTS. So the Zen master was right there. There's the Zen reading, and they're looking at 15 to 18 seconds. Milo was talking about 17, so we're right in the middle there. I think that would be a very good place to start. And so there is such thing as a Zen cup, and there you go. There's the information on the Zen cup and the time it should take to drip through the Zen cup there. But that's under the technical data. And then the other thing to look at is everything that they talk about in here. All the temperatures are figured at 77 degrees. So they did mention for tri-coats that they'd want 30 minutes flash time, so it's a little slower than the average base. The LV converter must slow the drying process down, although it sounded like it dried pretty fast to you. Now I was looking at the reducers, and they do have an extra slow. So they gave you the slow, and you found it, drying too fast on you, you go to the extra slow. And that would also help reduce the amount of overspray that your gun's putting off. But the bigger tip is going to reduce that, and then also reducing the paint to the proper viscosity will help a bunch too. So not a whole lot of other stuff in here, in the footnotes. I read through everything. They recommend going over a tenable sealer, but you had the car pretty much close to the color. Here's the footnotes on the extra time in between coats if it's a tricolor, and you'd probably want to extend that time a little bit if you were in a colder environment. So unless you had the shop at 77 degrees, that's US degrees. I'm not really good at the conversion thing. So everything else is pretty much the same there. Your air pressures, 35 to 40 psi, 8 to 10 at the cap. Everything's pretty much the same that you've done in the past. So that's pretty much it. I read through the book, and I really don't see. I think the biggest problem that you had was definitely with the white. It was just a little too thick for you. So. A little more reducer, and the Zen cup thing's pretty cool. I think we'll be getting one of those, and that'll be cool to order that and see if they go what. So there it is right there for you guys that thought Milo might be crazy. RTS 15 to 18 seconds, and at that speed you'll have 4 to 6 mils per coat. So it's all figured off the viscosity off of that calculation. So this top mixing ratio is really it's deceiving, because it says 2 to 1, and then right under there it gives you the the time that they want the product to flow through the Zen cup. So it's going to depend on toner to toner. There's different toners that are different thicknesses on the machine. White is one of the thicker toners. Red has some thick toners in it. Red, that's why red is so expensive. It's it's pretty much a gallon of pigment. When you order red, you're getting a gallon of pigment, and you know, it might be tinted with black or yellow or blue or whatever the color is to, you know, offset the shade. Red's an expensive pigment. White is the same way, you know, it's all binder or all toner, so it's extra thick, and so it just depends on what toners are in the formula, you know, and particular paint that you have. You know, sometimes you have to go out of the box as far as the mixing ratio with the reducer. But as far as the reducer, let's go over that one more time. You do want to be sure that, you know, you're using one of these reducers. MBR 100, MBR 200, MBR 300, MBR 400. Now the higher the number, the hotter the reducer will be, meaning the slower. So you want to make sure that, you know, you probably have one of these bottom two here, you know, the 300 or the 400. Depending on your temperature of your garage also, you know. But I wouldn't go with a faster reducer if you had it drying, you know, too fast already. But you'll see with your test panel that it's going to lay out a lot better with that 1.5 tip, and it'll atomize the product a lot nicer. And with the extra reducer too, I think that's going to be the game changer for you. So, you know, these are all your substrates that you can go over. I don't think you'll have any problem going over the, you know, what you have there. Like I said, they like 600. You know, if you wanted to be extra safe, and I mean, I've gone over 1,000 grit with no issues, and I think that you'll be fine. I would just stick with that plan, and you know, I guess you could scuff it with a red Scotch-Brite pad, but then again, you know, I don't want you to take the chance of disturbing the, you know, the metallic or getting any scratches that'll show up. So, you know, if you get into the area where you have to re-pearl coat the car, you know, and you're willing to do that, you just want to make sure that you have everything sanded nice and flat, you know, so it lays the same. And like you said, you had no problem with the pearl, and you know, you just dust coated that on there, and it'll look really nice, I'm sure. And then just re-clear it with whatever clear you have, and you shouldn't have a problem, man. Don't be scared to use that stuff. And you know, this viscosity thing, something that we haven't talked a lot about, you know, and you know, it got mildly talked about or mentioned, I would say, you know. Milo mentioned it, and it's one of those things that you just have to be listening to hear. You know, he did a video last night. He put a video up on it, and he didn't get into the technical of it, but there it is right there in the manual. So pretty cool. Hopefully that went over everything, you know. There it is. The Zen rating is on every product, and it seems to be about in the same range, you know, 15 to 18 second range. So it's pretty consistent to what we saw last night on Milo's video there. You know, Milo always gives some good advice. But there you go, man. Pot life, you know, as long as you didn't put any hardener in the base, you should be fine. Now that base that you had sitting in the cup that looked like it was getting really thick, the problem with that is that if you leave it open and exposed to air, it will thicken up. But you can put a reducer in that and reduce it back down. You won't have a problem with that. So that's why that's getting thick, though. It's getting air contact, and when it's not in a can, it tends to thicken up, and it'll actually harden. You know, the base coat will get hard, and that's a good way to dispose of it. You know, if you have a little bit of base, never throw a wet can out. Just pop the lid off, let it air dry, and the VOCs will escape from it, and it'll become a solid organic again, and you can dispose of it. So it's much cleaner, much nicer that way. So I think we've looked at everything. I was just trying to go over, you know, all the little notes there. Application, base coat color, clock. I think everything you did was right, man, except for, you know, it was just a little too thick, buddy. So hopefully that puts you a little more at ease. I don't know if you'll see this video today or not, but I'll go ahead and put this up this morning for you. And we'll go see what we can do. So you guys have a good day. Try to crawl out of bed, dust the bums off, and push the record button today, guys.